Good morning, everybody. AJ, the CEO here. Thank you so much for stopping by. We come here every Friday to try and help you answer some of your media ministry questions. I don't know everything, folks, but we do our best to answer whatever questions that you got. And that's what we're here for. And I'm trying to make an adjustment last minute that I shouldn't have tried to do last minute. But anyway, folks, thank you so much for stopping by. Just know, if I don't get to your question, you can email me at questions@ajayhomes.com. Give me 48 to 72 hours to respond, folks. Yeah, and did y'all know that we have a Facebook group, and you can find it on Facebook. Just look up Modern Media Ministry Made Easy. All you got to do is answer the 3 questions, and you are in like Flynn. Don't live stream inside the group, and I think that's about it. Y'all said a little volume. I am maxed out. Hold on. Let me unmute for a second. All right, I'm pretty up. Hold on. Let me. Hold on. Let me turn it up again. Hold on. All right. I'm pretty up there. I can't go any louder on the board and on the vMix. So I'll just try and make sure I'm talking a little bit louder. I am blasting my eardrums out. Let me turn that down, so that's fine. Let me know if the audio is good for y'all right there. All right, where did I leave off? Oh, yeah, if you ever need some help, folks, know that you can hit me up at ajhomes.com/consultations. Just give you a fair warning. I always shut down business the last 2 weeks of the year. Daughter's birthday, the holidays, all this other stuff, planning for next year and all this other stuff, that is coming up. So my cutoff is going to be, well, actually, it has to be on the 16th of this month because we are doing a little bit of traveling. Reverend Richard, I apologize. I had the city wrong. Where we're going next. Make sure I'm still right here in front of this computer. Hopefully that helps a little bit more. And why is that graphics just sitting there? What in the world is... I'm going to have to redo my network. Something is going on with my unified network for some odd reason. Like my mousing over and stuff like that is like, I don't know. I put a new rack in, so I don't know what in the world's going on. But anyway, enough of me complaining about what's going on. Let's holler at some fun cook. I was hearing a beep coming from my phone. Yeah, something. It's like a bunch of stuff's going on today. Keith, hello. Good. Hooking up another kicker. Hold on a second. I had to kill my internet connection for 1 second. It might drop for a half a second for y'all. I don't know why. It's like my 10 gigabit network has been acting up this morning. It wasn't giving any type of network connection over here. All right, y'all said y'all are getting buffering. Yeah, I don't know what in the world is going on with my stuff here, folks. So my apologies. Hopefully that will go a little bit better for y'all. What in the world is going on today? Let me know. Is it, I'm not seeing it on this side now. What in the world is going on with my stuff today? All right, hold on 1 second, folks. All right. I don't know what in the world's going on. Hopefully it's doing better now. Let me know in the comments if you have. It seems like y'all said it's doing better now. I don't know what in the world's going on with that. I'm going to have to redo everything here in a second, but I don't know where I left off at. So, Chad, hello. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't get a chance to go through and answer everybody's question or greet everybody like I normally would. This stuff is acting up on me. So I'm just going to go ahead and fire away because I have no idea what in the world is going on. But anyway, folks, let's go ahead and fire away as best as possible if y'all have any questions. I will give you an update on some work we got going on. We got a new camera in, and we're going to be reviewing that pretty much this afternoon. Hopefully the video will be on Saturday. So we got two AV cams. The light gray one, that's the one we're using for an install. But this one right there, that is the updated AV cams that has AI tracking in it. We're going to be doing a review on that one, show you everything about that one pretty soon. That's going to be Saturday. Hopefully we'll get that done. We got a lot of stuff going on throughout the week, and y'all will see the video from Abundant Life. I did not hold my composure in that video. I went back there to do some work, and I had some tomfoolery that happened that got me out of character very much yesterday. Let me show you. I came back to Abundant Life to hang the rack mount, and the geniuses that were doing some other work there, painting some stuff like that. Well, let me take that back because I don't know this. I'm assuming this. I came back, and this is where they left my rack. The rack that I'm going to put the S16s are, some genius crammed it into a bucket of paint. It's wedged in there, and they bent the entire frame. So I had to order a brand new rack for whatever stupid reason they decided to do that. I had no idea what's going on with that. So I am highly perturbed at that. I'll just put it that way. So that's what I was going to do yesterday, but that kind of messed up everything. I have two cables that I need to adjust. I found the wiring for the left PTZ. So the right one is still not working. The back wall is not working. I might have to run another cable, but I do have my tester, and we're just going to find out where the issue is. But anyway, enough about that. Let's go ahead and fire away some questions that y'all got. John, regarding ways to either streamline or minimize AV team requirements in keeping with the Media Booth podcast, do you have any other ideas on how to implement a reduced AV worship team? Me personally, I don't know the setup that you got. So let's just assume you have audio, you got cameras, you got scripture, those three, presentation software, something like that. That presentation software typically is not something that's done all the time. So what I used to do is the person who was using presentation, since they're already on the computer, I would have them be my e-usher, looking online, looking at comments and stuff like that. You could do that with just two people. That's what we used to do at Signs and Wonders. I would be on, John would be on presentation and the cameras. I would be on the live stream and audio. So it could be done with two. That's what I would think. And wait a minute, you actually got another comment. Our AV team usually needs three people, one on sound, both one for presentation, and then one for running that. The only thing I could say, audio should be a dedicated thing. Presentation, depending on how much is being presented, they probably could jump back and forth. I used to do that, jump back and forth between running presentation and the cameras because presentation wasn't needed that much. I prepped it ahead. That's the only thing I can think right now. I wouldn't go less than two. I've done the entire thing by myself, but when I do that, something gets compromised, meaning we're not going to have slides for the lyrics and the songs if it's just me, or it will be just a one static shot, and then you would have it. You're going to have to do some type of compromise. That's the only I can think of right there. Let's see. Keith, hello. Parker, hello. Bruce, I think I got through that. I made 69. Do you have any recommendations for running a live stream via iPad? Honestly, I mean, you could use Switcher Studio. I've had a whole lot of people moved away from that, but it depends what you're streaming to. If you're streaming to Facebook, I would just use the native client to stream if you're using an iPad. And I think YouTube has freed that up. It used to be that you had to have a certain amount of subscribers to live stream from a tablet or a phone. I think that's been freed up. I'm not 100% sure, but I would use the native program. And then there's other ones like Prism and other things like that that you could use. Philip Paul, hello. Brian Jones, hello. Eric, hello. G. Albert, hello. Michael, hello. Lamar, hello. Why does it say? All right, page 3. Reverend Richards, hello. Got another question here. Hey AJ, how to use a Ronin RS3 Pro combo to live stream? It has the Raven Eye. I don't know if it's fit as a signal transmitter to live production. Hold on. Let me bring up something here first for those who don't know what that is. RS3 Pro. All right, so for those who don't know, with the Raven RS3 Pro, that is by DJI, and that is a gimbal. And, you know, with one of these, I mean, I have a gimbal. Here, so you could put your camera on here. The Ronin is a much beefier one than this. You can put whatever camera on here as long as it supports the weight, and you would have to have typically a wireless HDMI adapter, maybe like the Hollyland, that is small and has a good transmission that can go back and forth with that. All right, I cranked up the audio all the way. I can't go any higher than that. And honestly, you would just, depending on whatever you're using, so like say you're using the ATEM or something like that, you would have one hooked on to the cold shoe on the top of your camera, or you can strap it to the side, depends on, I don't know if that has a mount on the side here that you can, like a shoe or something like that. I don't know if that one right there is not, but typically you would put this on the camera somewhere for like a transmitter. So I'm looking for like this one, the Mars 400S. These would go clip onto the shoe of the camera, and then you would have the other one hooked up to the HDMI out or SDI out. They do have SDI versions of this, and that would just connect to whatever your streaming or your video switcher is, and then you can go around about and do whatever you want. I've had a bunch of churches that use that in Church of God in Christ down in Chesapeake have used something like that, and they've actually used it with a pocket cinema camera, just like what I have right there. That's how I would use that, or how I've seen that be used. David, love the graphics. You know, I actually did a video on that. Actually, no, I showed how I did it inside of a Q&A, but I'll do a dedicated one there for that as well too. Lamar, I need to follow back up with you. I don't think I'm gonna have time to do that service. Just like I said, I didn't think I had time. Just want to confirm. Sorry if I didn't send that in the email. It's so much stuff, I think, and I have a draft email. I don't think it went out for that, so sorry about that. I'm going to be recording a service using OBS. What settings should I have it at to achieve 1080p recording? Well, that is, let's open up OBS and let's see. And I really need to get a new arm. I'm thinking about doing a shotgun that's here so the mic is not always here. And my wireless isn't, I don't know. I don't want to have something. I want all the stuff being plugged up so I don't have to just always be charging batteries and stuff for this. And why did OBS not open? Man, what in the world is going on today? Bunch of fun stuff today. All right. So if we go into our settings here for OBS, and we want to do First, I would come over here to our video, and that's where you're going to set your output. This is where we're going to do it 1080p. I personally do it 60. You can change that frame rate wherever you want, but that's how I do mine. And then for your output, this is your recording. Me personally, set it for your format, set it to MKV or FLV. Both of these formats, if anything happens, you won't lose the file. If you set anything to MOV or MP4, if something crashes, if OBS crashes, you've lost everything. This is the reason why I normally use MKV, and I do that. And then depending on what encoder you're using, I typically have this set at the same stream. You could do higher if you wanted to. Lossless is going to be the biggest file. You could do indistinguishable quality, but again, this is all dependent on your computer. So I can use this off of my NVIDIA graphics card, and that would give me some better recording. But the main thing is you want to set your video to the resolution and the frame rate first. That's under video. That's 1080p, 60 for me. And then under output, under the recording, you want to play with the setting. Me, if your computer can handle it, do indistinguishable, or you can do higher quality. One of those, if you want to get the best. Well, the best is actually lossless, but that's going to be a very large file, and that's intensive for your computer to record. That's what I would recommend for you. Yay. Haven't seen you in a while, sir. Hey, AJ, what would be the minimum price for a digital wall decent enough for a small church? Well, that all depends. LED Nation, what I've installed, some of the smaller screens, thankfully, they've gone down in price. So I'm going to give a big shout out to LED Nation. I know some of y'all have asked, AJ, how come you've been using LED Nation all the time? They're the ones that responded back to me when I was doing it. So I've had good quality with them, so that's who I use. And until I have another reason to jump to somebody else, that's kind of like what I'm doing. So let's go here to a turnkey solution. These are their prices. And let me stop this because I hate that they have this video that plays right when you come in here. So right now, a 9.45 foot wide and 6.4 foot tall is going for at a reduced price of $8,395, which is a deal because this is the same one, about the same one I installed at Signs and Wonders, the very first screen that I ever did. And that screen was more around like $12,000. So it's come down in price significantly. But that all depends on the amount of space that you have available. I think this is a very decent price with this, and I would probably say add another $1,200 for shipping because they drop ship it on a truck to you. So you're going to be just shy of $10,000. You might be able to get it around like 95, 92, something like that for everything. So that's what I would say. But again, that's all dependent on the space that you got to use it for. Now, what screen am I on? Yeah, David, I'll go over that. That's a plugin that I used, and I made it in DaVinci Resolve. There is a plugin in OBS that does it on the fly, but I wanted to do it a little bit differently. One Eye CCTV Security. Hello, video streams. Good morning as well. Philip Pohl. Hey, AJ, on the A10 Mini Pro, when we press the button for picture-in-picture, can we set a fade out, just cut? To my knowledge, no. When you turn on that picture-in-picture, it is immediate. So, like, if I do that, it's just on and off. So, to my knowledge, no. Spotlight, thank you so much. I was actually doing another intro, and I moved it over to the Mac, and for whatever reason, my network was causing some issues, and it messed up what I wanted to do. Let me see if I can show you what I was working on for a different intro. Because, again, we try and kick it up a notch all the time, folks. So where's it at? Or did I delete it out of frustration that it wasn't working? I might have deleted it. Yeah, I think I deleted it because it didn't come. Wait a minute. Did I put it on? I might have to rebuild this computer. I don't know why everything is going all super slow. All right, so this was the render, and it came out horrible for whatever reason. All of these, it lost the connection where all the files were. So there's the, our AJ the CEO logo, and all of these blocks were videos, and then it would have faded out into my actual logo. And I've rendered it 4 times, and it didn't come out right. So I'm gonna try and do that again. So we try and do some other stuff, and we got some other videos I'm working on to try and push the limits and show you some stuff that we're gonna do for next year. So y'all seeing my volume is still low? I don't know. I can't really turn it up anymore. We got some other videos I'm working on to try and push the limits. I don't know. I mean, I'll just make sure I'm still in here talking straight. So y'all still saying volume? I mean, I'm maxed out. Let me see. Hold on a second. All right, I turned the gain up on the mic on vMix. So let me see. I'm waiting for it to catch up to see. Hopefully I don't blow my eardrums by doing this. All right, I turned the gain up on. All right, so I don't want to go any louder from there, but let's see where we're at. Keith. Is the latest OBS software update stable? Yes, I have not seen any new updates, and I've been running it fine without any problems. Willie, good morning from Orlando. Hello. Deron, Campbell. Hey Jay. Did a live event. I had to go wireless on one of the cams. That cam lagged behind audio really bad. Any advice for getting better results when using both wired and wireless video together? Sadly, you would need to get a higher end wireless HDMI. That's the reason why I don't do it, because of that latency and getting the audio out of whack. You would just need to invest in more. I don't know which wireless one that you're using, but like the Hollyland, like I just showed, that one helps with its transmission and not having that much latency. If you needed to go wireless, I would make sure that's not like a serious camera that you would want to track somebody. Like, say if you want to put it on a person, use it on a shot that's not good enough to actually see their lips move. Like if I'm in a crowd shot and I'm walking around, something would be good. But that's kind of just a known issue, I would say. Yeah, and from a balance of audio, folks, that's the whole thing. I need to put headphones on here and do another mock live stream just to balance all the stuff out as well, too. So we all have the same issues there. G Valentino, thank you. So, again, this is just stuff that we also have to play around with. Even AJ the CEO, we still got to practice and get our stuff straight because some update knocked something out. So we'll work on that. Yeah, so buffering, hopefully that's been sorted out because I'm catching through on the messages now. Back to G Valentino again. I need to set a budget I need a set of budget PTZ cameras for my church. Which brand would you recommend? I have one smart SMT AV, which is pretty good so far. I need 2 more. I would go with the AVCans E20s. That's what I've been using. That is, let me turn to this camera. And those cameras are not the back of my head. Did I shave right? Yeah. I thought I missed a spot. That is this one. Now, I must say, this one right here is a very good deal. Now, the only thing is, this camera actually used to be $399. I think a whole bunch of people have gotten it. This one now is $499. and it comes with the mount, everything that you need. Doesn't come with a ceiling mount if you need to put it on the ceiling, but a wall mount, that one is a good for $4.99. I know when they had Amazon Prime Day, you were able to get this one for like $300 even. That what I will say is a good one. I've installed those a bunch, and very, very good quality. I will actually put a link to that in the description. Once I can find it here in my list. Where's it at? Come on. There it is. And that one does have NDI built into it as well too. So I think the $3.99 one didn't have NDI. So I don't know if they're out of stock or they're trying to not use that one anymore. That's a 20X NDI PTZ. And I will put that in the chat on here and on the Book of Face. Y'all funny. Talking about turning this Mac on. No. Reverend Richards, could you suggest a good coax cable for our PTZ? We have the Persil 20X PTZ. Honestly, make one. Honestly, that's what I would probably say. Now, and the reason I say that is not to be a jerk, is to develop the skills to do it, because then you can make it wherever. So let me show you what I actually use for my cables and all the tools that I use. And I mean, if you get the right tools, it makes it very, 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 very simple to make them. I've gone through so many of them, and this is what I use as my go-to for making these. Let me get that. Those are the termination ones that I do. And we'll go there. And I want to do a comparison just to show you. All right. So right here, this is a cable that I've used before, Superbat SDI. Good. You know, that's what? That's 50 feet. That's going for $60. Now, that's only if you need to terminate those, connect them, so you don't need this. So yes, this comes with a pack of 35 of these. So you can terminate these. You get that. I use, where are my crimping tools? I'm looking for the exact one. Coax. All right. So yeah, it's a lot, but at this point you can make as many cables as you want after that. So you could just get the crimper by itself. That's what I was looking for. I don't know where that's at, but I have that. I get this box of cable. That's around like 1,000 feet, so you can make as many cables as you want. But that's what people that want to make it. But if you really want to, you can use this Superbat one here, and it's pre-made, and you ain't got to worry about it. But personally, I'm all about trying to show you how to make your own, and then you can make them willy-nilly all you want, and you can always get RG6 cable from Lowe's or Home Depot, which is significantly cheaper than this, and you can make it yourself, or just buy a box of this. This is 1,000 feet. I mean, you can make tons of cable if you need to with that, and you can put it together. That's just me. All right, I think everybody's doing this. Scott, I need to circle back with you on your email as well, too. My apologies. Yeah, I didn't see a rack, just a bucket holder. Yeah, exactly. I don't know why they did that. It was setting by itself. I don't even know why you would touch that. Chad, excited about the new AV cans. I like the sensor on that version better than the Eco AV cans. Yeah, they're good. They're really good. Let's see, what page are we on? Let's see. Page 2. Dwayne, hey, good morning. Yeah, very much so. Um, D minor. What in ears are you using, and have you ever worked with the data video systems? Yes, I've worked with data video. These are some in ears that I've used. These are like $19 that I've used just to get them. I got these off of Amazon. I've used them before with in ears. They work fine for me. I don't need no super expensive ones. Let me in ear show you the exact ones that I was using. And it's those right here. So exactly, oh, they went up by $1. $20.99. This is what I am using for right there. So really nice. I want to figure out a way to make these wireless so that I don't get tethered down and I can actually move around a lot more. In ear. Put this in the chat for y'all as well. Rhonda, hey, good morning. Spotlight Deliverance in their setup, they're saying I have one person run the cameras and presentation. Like AJ said, I prepped the slides in advance. Well, thank you for that. I think I've already answered that. No, this is the second. This is the same question, but a different part. Can you recommend a budget friendly? What are your thoughts on the AV cams? I mean, I like both of them. The one that's right above my head, that's a SMT AV. Let's just cycle through the camera so you can see what's going on. This is a PTZ Optics Move SE. This is the BZB gear that we got back there. That is an auto tracking one. This is the SMT AV that you're seeing right there. This is the Famaco right here. That is the BZB gear. No, not that one. The BZB gear, that one, and this Famaco, both of those are 4K AI tracking ones. This one is a tracking one. And then the one that you see back here is the AV cams that we're going to be reviewing that is tracking too. So those are the ones that we got. And like I said, I mean, most of the time, until you start getting into the 4K ones, the sensor is exactly the same. So, I mean, you're good from there. But in those comparisons, I would say the newer ones, the AV CAN sensor, I would give a leg up on the SMT AV. I have not used any of their latest SMT AVs, so I don't know if they've changed the sensor, but I mean, it looks fine there. Let's see. Next one. Dwayne, have you tried Google Voice to receive calls online? The pastor wants that. Actually, yes, I have. And we've done that with this. And that is my phone. Why in the world is it doing that? I normally can we've taken calls on here. I don't know why that's giving me some beeping on here. Let me disconnect it. And yes, I've done that before. I did this a couple of weeks ago. Let me disconnect this. Actually, no. I think Google Voice was acting up on me when I was trying to do it through the web page. But yes, we have taken calls in the last 2 live streams. We took calls that way, and it's still, the browser is still blocking it. Allow. All right, I allowed it. Will it go through this time? It's still preventing. So I'm hearing that. Hearing that. Testing. All right, maybe we can. maybe we can test it. So, Dwayne, if you see this number, go ahead and try and give a call. Give it some patience because we are going to try and work this out. So, we're going to try and take a call just to show you how this works. You can give a call here, live stream only, 804-220-0922. Give that a call, and we'll see if we can answer a call coming in and just show you how that will work. I'm routing my audio through my mixer, and I'm using the computer. I had my phone, but I don't know why it's giving me some issues. See, it's doing this beep, which I don't know why it's doing that. So we'll try and do it that way. So if you give a call, and I'll give a sample of that, and we'll circle back and go from there. So let me, there we go. Hello?
AJ?
Yes, it is. Hold on one second. Let me bring your audio in so everybody else can hear it on the live stream. So, all right. Can you hear yourself on the live stream?
Let me check. I'm actually driving right now, but
Well, I'll see. Anybody else in the chat, can y'all hear him fine? Let me know.
I actually can hear myself, yes.
All right, cool. So go ahead. What's your question? Well, give a big shout out first. I interrupted you before you even said who you is. Go ahead and say what you got to say, and then we go ahead and fire away at your question.
Yeah, well, my name is Isaac. I'm from New York. First off, God bless you, and God bless everyone watching the stream. Yeah, I had a quick question. My church is currently thinking about getting an ATEM mini switcher. We already have. We got installed in our desktop a few years ago a capture card, and I was just wondering, like, what would be my best option to hook up the ATEM? Should I use the HDMI out into the back of the capture card, or should I use just the USB cam out?
Now, which ATEM mini is it? Is it the original one, the ATEM mini Pro?
The ATEM mini Pro HDMI.
Okay. Well, you got a couple of options. You could not even need the capture card at all. You can just use the USB and use the HDMI out to be your multi-view, so you can see everything that's connected. And then that USB will bring your video and audio. Right. I'm sorry, say it again.
Right. That's also what I was thinking, using that as a multi-view to get a better view of everything going on.
Yeah, that's how I would use that.
Great. Well, that was pretty much it. Thank you very much.
Hey, you're welcome. Have a good one.
Thank you. God bless.
Yeah, bye. All right, so we got our audio working here. I might have to just do it through the browser. I don't know why phone is acting up like that. But let's see where we left off at. Notice the audio. All right, somebody else was trying to call, but I think it was coming through the wrong one. So I'll do it one more time, and let me actually turn this off so it will only go to my computer. I'm going to turn these off right now, so hopefully it'll only go to the web. So, again, if you want to try and call in, folks, go ahead. Oh, and there it goes, right when I do that. Hello. You're on the line with AJ, the CEO. Who am I talking with?
Hi, AJ. This is Dwayne.
Hey, Dwayne. So, doing good. So, you got firsthand experience to see how this sounds. How's it working for you?
It sounds pretty good. My question is, I'm going to be calling into a conference call number. Will I be able to put that passcode in so that everybody on the conference call number can then participate in the service?
Yes. What conference call software are you using or platform are you using?
They haven't told me that yet. I'm kind of like filling in for the media team.
Okay, well, most of the conference call ones have a web interface or they have an actual download, like free conference call has a download. So I would just put that in on the computer, and just like I'm using Google Voice, I'm just dialing in through the web, and the same function that you would use putting in codes, it would be the exact same thing.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
All righty. You have a
All right,
good
have
one.
a good one.
Bye. All righty. Cool. Let's see where we're at. Lamar. Hey, AJ, do you know of a program that will allow me to access an external USB drive over IP outside of the network on another computer or cell phone? Not directly. Honestly, the easier way to do that is some routers actually have a USB drive that you can hook it up to where anything on the network can be done like that. Now, you saw from an outside IP outside of the network, you're going to have to open up some holes, some ports in your firewall to be able to do that. Now, I do have a Synology NAS that has that built in, but I mean, that's pricey just to do something like that. But if anybody else has any ideas, please let me know. All right, let's see. I'm playing catch up right now to page number 1. John, AJ, another advantage to making your own cables is if you want, you can drill smaller holes and put the ends on later. We did this for running SDI. That's true, but just realize if y'all look through some of the videos I'm doing, I understand the purpose of that, but then having to come back makes it a pain to try and do that again. But yes, that is true. That does make it easier to do. And then follow up. If for any reason we have had to remove the cable, we can just snip the end off and re-terminate. Our church is old and has a lot of woodwork, so we wanted to minimize. Understood. Benny Hinn, like name. Can the DeckLink Quad HDMI recorder be connected to the ATEM Mini Pro for switching purposes? For switching purposes, I mean, how would you do that? Like what? Like when you're thinking, because the Quad recorder is bringing inputs in, not outputs. You have one that can be designated as an out, so you will lose one of your connections. So you could, so I'm going to use this DeckLink as in theory. Just imagine this is the HDMI one. So you have 4 inputs and then the other one would come out. So you could, I mean, you won't be able to control it through the software like the ATEM. You would need another piece of software. Like I did this when I had 2 original ATEM minis. I'd have 4 inputs on one mini, and then the HDMI out went into the input of another HDMI. You know what? Forget it. Let me actually design it so you can actually see it instead, because I was getting confused just talking about it. Diagram. Here we go. So what you could do, what I did originally, let's make this a little bit bigger. You have an ATEM Mini, and let's actually zoom in. So we had an ATEM Mini. This is the original one, all right? And let's do a television. So we have the HDMI out coming here. And with the original, you only had 4 inputs. And I think I'm a little bit too much in there. All right, so let's do a camera. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we got these. Select all, please. Thank you. So typically you would have 4 inputs, and all of these would connect to your ATEM, right? I'm not going to color code it like I typically would. So we could pick whatever one that we want, and then out of those 4, and that's what comes out, right? So in theory, what you could do, not in theory, in in practice, what you could do is get rid of one of these cameras, have having 4 of these plugged up over here, right? Let's do this over here. Y'all understand what I'm talking about. I'm trying to make it all pretty. And then the HDMI out from this ATEM would just be input number 1. So now you would have 7 cameras. You would control 4 here, and whichever one you pick, say this one is highlighted, that's what's now going to go into the source of number 1. That's how you could do that. Now, the issue that I have with that deck link, there's no direct control. In theory, that could work the exact same way. I just don't know how you would pick that in a software way. How you would pick which is the input that's going there, because the deck link, the way this acts, it acts like it's 4 different capture cards. So it's going to be HDMI 1, HDMI 2, HDMI 3, A4, and they show up as 4 separate devices. So I'm not sure. You would have to add OBS or some type of other switching software just to control that. And that's going to get kind of tedious, I would think. But that's how, if you had to do it, I would have to introduce something like OBS and make a scene for each capture card, then send that out into, that's how I would pick. And then in OBS, set the output to be whatever I pick, and that's what goes into the A10 Mini. Yeah, it's a lot of jumps, but that's how it would work. It may be 16. You missed a rant of finding out that some contractors broke and bent my frame for an AV rack because they wanted to put it over top of a bucket of paint. You missed that rant. And then you have a follow-up question. Anyone have a recommendation for dust covers for the X32 and the A10 Mini Extreme? Yes, for the A10 Mini Extreme, I have this from DeckSaver. I need to get another one because this is going for my other ATEM that I use for recording and stuff like that. And then I think DeckSaver also has one for the X32 as well too. All right, so y'all saying his volume was low. Yeah, I think Dwayne's was, and I think that was probably there. I could have cranked it up, but I mean, normally I keep my computer at 50. I don't want to blast it, but I'll do that again. So just to let y'all know, if y'all are interested, we still taking calls. So you can call in right here if you want to. All right. And that's 804-220-0922. Now, I didn't do it. I didn't say it, but hopefully, folks, I only ask for little things. Go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit subscribe. Hit that bell notification. That way you don't miss out when we come out with other videos, folks, because Wheeze is a hop, skip, and a jump away from our next giveaway, folks. I am really excited. The camera that I'm going to be reviewing, the AVCams that has AI tracking, that is the one that I am going to include in this giveaway. All right. So I'm really excited about that. And where are we at right now? We are 388 away from 60,000 subscribers, and that's when we're going to do our giveaway. Link is down below if you're interested. Again, you only have to enter once. It is right there or in the description to get a part of that, folks. This is my way of giving back. And hey, instead of just talking about making change, this is me doing my best to actually do something with that. Now, let me take a half a second and give y'all the vision. I've shared this with some other people. And you hear about Mr. Beast and all these big YouTubers and stuff like that. Can I take a minute to just cast the vision, write the vision, make it plain? What I'd love to do, we get to a point where consistently from, business, YouTube, whatever, say we get to the point where we're bringing in, I don't know, I'm honestly, I'm trying to break $2,000 a month, just being real transparent. But if we got to the point where we're consistently bringing in, say, and I'm lowballing it based off of what some people are doing. Well, no, I'm not going to say this. When I get to a significant thing, what I want to do is buy an old or church for sale. And then I'm going to turn that church into a house for me to live in. But the sanctuary, I'm going to keep it as a sanctuary. And just imagine all this stuff that I'm doing. I have my own sanctuary to actually demo stuff. That's the whole selling of telling to companies who give me products. Now I can have all these PTZs mounted up. I can have the digital wall, the projectors, the sound system put in an actual sanctuary, an actual laboratory. And then the vision of that is I'm not going to use the sanctuary like that, but the idea is have all the cutting edge technology in there and then be able to rent that out to another ministry that doesn't have a church. They have all the tech. They got everything. They just got to pay the rent to come in and use it for that given Sunday. That's the vision of what I would love to do. Now, how excited would that be to actually see a build video of this is the project of what we're working on? That's the grand vision of what I'd love to do. And then ultimately get to the point we do it big enough, we sell that, we pay the whole thing off and then gift it to a ministry, and then we move on to the next. That's kind of like the thought that I would love to do. So just sharing that with you. Charles, what's going on? Charles Johnson, that's Sandra's husband. That camera, that's y'all's that we're going to be installing. So I'm waiting for your sound system to be here. I missed it yesterday. UPS is supposed to be delivering it, but we got all your equipment. So we're going to be doing y'all's install pretty soon. Hopefully, I want to do it Tuesday and get it knocked out. That is at Rising Mount Zion. Let's see. Bruce also says that the Behringer site offers replacement covers as well, too. That's the tarp. But if you wanted a hard shell cover, DeckSaver does that as well. Divine Connection Ministries official here. Hey, AJ, I know I came a bit late. What would be the best recommendation for a gear bundle kit on a budget? What gear are you mentioning? Because that could range from a whole bunch of stuff, but let me know, and we'll circle back to you. Chad, Dr. AJ, you just turned into a radio host on the phone just now. Hey, we try and do that. Benny, Intel Core-based PC build recommendation with an RTX GPU. Number 2, by installing an RTX 1650 to Intel Core i5 6500 processor, I would go to an i7. If you had to stick with an Intel, go to an i7. That RTX 1650 is a good one to use. This is actually what I'm going to be upgrading for Rising Valley. I think the USB adapter that I got kind of burnt out, so instead I just went ahead and just bought them another graphics card for that. But yeah, the 1650 will be good. You don't need to go over the top with it. But if you went with that processor, I would go with an i7. I will do that here, the cover. Give me a second. Yeah, it is the DeckSaver, and it is right here. So I will link to that for you. Actually, I need to buy another one. Let me actually just go ahead and do that. And ATEM Mini Extreme cover. So I think, hold on, I'm actually buying it, so give me a half a second here. Come on. All right. Yeah, so just to say, yes, I just ordered another one. So, let's see. Bishop, what's going on? I almost missed out on today's call. Man, see? Look. Why don't you go ahead and give me a call? Come on, so I can get you up on here, Bishop, so we can talk to you and tell you the truth about Macs and Apple computers. Back to Bruce. We did OBS deckling issue at a church where we merged our 4 inputs into the church's AJayTheCEO stream. Actually, the other way around. We required 2 video operators. Understood. Hey, you look, you just got to set a date, man, and we can make that happen. He was like, how did he skip the line? Because I can't stop the call. Now, this is just a number, so I can't put them on hold and all this other stuff like that. But we'll see about doing stuff like that. So, again, appreciate y'all. Like I said, we got 57 people watching. We got 25 likes. Could you please help me out? If you haven't hit that like button, please do that. I really appreciate that. Hey, that's the dream, man. Like, I think I shared it. I'm trying to find something here so I can show you. Like here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. So here's a church that is for sale. And first off, first you have to rezone it so you can actually have somebody do this as a house. I wish they had some. Yeah, they do. So that's the layout. And I can't get the picture any bigger. Hold on. So not a lot from here. So you got your foyer, you got your 2 bathrooms, you got 4 offices right there. You got your media room. No, that's a room. No, that is your media room. I would blow that out. I would actually do that significantly bigger or get rid of it completely. And since this is the main church, I would turn one of these into the media room right there and then put a glass window or something like that so you can get audio. Or what I would do is have this be audio and then have this be the media and the production. And then we would just run cables to connect those two so they could be separate. And then maybe one of these other spots would be like an actual studio with green screen to do stuff like that. Then keep that hole open and then maybe turn this back part into like the office. And again, you think about all the tech. We're talking about the lighting, projections, networking, door access. I mean, it would be like the laboratory like I would want to. Like if I owned this house, I've rented this house. If I owned it, I would throw all this stuff as best as I possibly could in this thing. So these cameras that you see on tripods, they'd be mounted on walls and stuff like that. So that's the vision. And yes, that's exactly the point. If I had a building like this, we could have our next conference. I mean, a smaller one, but it could actually be there. And just imagine having people could come and do. See, that's the vision. It always says, he can do exceedingly abundantly above anything that you can ask or think. So, I mean, that's the limits of what I want to do. Push the limits of the imagination. Just imagine having a space to where you don't have to rent. You actually have a conference. You have the equipment. So when I talk to these companies that give me the stuff, we can be a kind of like a shop for them. Not a shop, but like a demo. So just imagine the church is like, well, I'm looking for this equipment. Well, you can come down to my sanctuary. Come down to your sanctuary. Yeah, we have all this equipment in there. You can bring your team to see and touch and see how all the stuff works. And they get an actual representation of what it's done. So I think that would be really cool. Scott was saying, imagine doing it from behind the pulpit. Nah. But, I mean, again, this is the passion of doing something like this, not just teaching y'all about how to do this, but to put something to where we actually can make a change and actually do something. We're always talking, actually putting some action behind it. And again, I don't know if anybody is doing this. Again, the long-term vision, and I'm showing all my cards. Doing these remodels and stuff like that, these installs, the vision was actually to get bought, be sponsored, and have a bless this house and actually remodel. I got that name from Mike. Is actually to do this on HDTV. Let me take this call. I already know who this is. Hello. You were online with AJ the CEO. Who is this? Is this a bishop calling?
This is the bishop from Max R. Us out of Chicago, Illinois. Calling to the PC Master, AJ Holmes.
Oh, but hey, as long as you said PC Master, I appreciate that. We ain't mess with that Apple stuff. How you doing, sir? Let me make sure I crank
Good, bro.
y'all up just in case. I mean, I got it up, so let me crank this up a little bit more. Hopefully, y'all can hear that. All righty, sir. What you got going on?
Man, listen, I thought I missed the calls doing all this ministry stuff, and I said, man, I done missed out. And I'm glad I got a chance to call in. Thank you for hopping on our feed the other day.
Hey, no problem.
Much work to be done, but we're going to get there, brother.
All right. So you got a question for me, or you just hollering at me?
Well, I guess I got a question for you. Says, you're such a great mind in ministry. I do want to do a live with you. We'll set that up because I think that many people in my community don't know who you are as much as I talk about you, but there's a great disparity when it comes to media ministry and how we are connected to evangelism in the church. Here's a question for you, non-technical, then a technical question. Here's the non-technical question. How do we better church fellowships through media? How can we better church fellowship through media? That's the non-technical question. Technical question is, listen, why don't you do a live tutorial on how to best use the bundles that you have put together?
Okay. I'll answer that second one first. I have done that, but I guess I can do some more in-depth on that. Now, the first part, you're kind of making me show my hand a little bit. I'm giving y'all a heads up, and I give you a heads up of what I'm trying to do as well, too, and give an example. I did this a while ago where I actually put in place and did an example of what I would consider a hybrid service. So every time I do an install, and I tell churches, just because y'all have this camera, live streaming your Bible study and service is kindergarten.
Right.
And there's more that we can do. So this is my vision of I'm going to put this together. And I always tell churches, you have a media television network now. You can broadcast anything. So I'm going to give an example of this, but I'm going to show you what we're going to be working on. So the idea is this, and I'm not going to play any music on here, but the idea is we're going to have, I'll say, prototype church television, meaning that you would see a broadcast to where your church, your ministry has different shows being live streamed throughout the entire week. So, for example, I'm talking with a couple of friends, and it'll be one thing. Just imagine, it's about growing outside of the box, folks, with your ministry. Imagine at 6 a.m., it doesn't have to be done live. You can if you want to. But 6 a.m., you have a show that everybody comes in and watches, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, and it's called Spiritually Fit. And you're going through a 30-minute workout to get your day started. You have your prayer like you're doing in the mornings. That's on a set time. People can chime in. They can watch that. Then they have, your band is together before choir rehearsal or whatever. Let them sit down and just have gospel music without words. They can play. And then it's just, hey, I want to have live music, just relaxing gospel music or something like that for 30 minutes. Then you have, a talk show with the youth, with the kids, with the young adults. You got marriage ministry. You got different other ministries going on. You got real talk. What does church have to do with politics? Different types of stuff. The idea is what type of things you can do. Now, this is a broadcast package that I'm going to use to kind of broadcast this. Just like you see on television, it shows, our next show, this is what's coming up. Or at on Mondays at this time, we have this show. Tuesday, we got this. Wednesday, we got this. And just think of it in that way, not just we're going to be live streaming our church service on Saturday or Sunday, whatever day you do it, or Bible study.
Bro, you are all up in my stuff, brother. I wish you could. It's on paper. I've been trying to get people to see this for a minute. There's a very popular pastor in Georgia who does this on a major, large scale right now. But this is literally, you just spoke out and spewed out everything that's on my paper. On my paper, brother. I would love to partner with you any way that I can to make that thing come to fruition. Because the whole thing, I'm watching you as I'm talking to you. That whole thing you just showed was visualization to everything that I've written, brother. That's what the church needs. And I think what people miss, that COVID made every small church a big church.
Mm-hmm.
And we're small-minded, so we cannot grow because we're small-minded. And we got to start thinking big. Man, I'm on this team with you, brother. I just put myself on your team, by the way.
Well, hey, look. If we had to throw a little scripture in there, he said he could do no miracles there because of their lack of.
Come on, man.
I mean, and I think that's the whole thing. Now, hey, folks, y'all, this ain't MAV316. Look, this ain't a rant. This is just fact. Let me get on my soapbox real quick. No, see, this is the thing. We're a peculiar people. We've been set apart. So, but why are we spending all of our time to fit in? Like we're meant to set out. Like we have these platforms. We see on the news every single day, people who have this fame, this attention, this influence, and they've done it stupidly and they've done dumb stuff. So if they can get this so much notoriety doing dumb stuff, what is it? What's the old adage? What does it take for bad men to prosper, for good men to do nothing?
Do nothing.
Like we need to do something. So again, it's like the church has the building fund. I've messed with churches when they say you got a building fund. What are you building? Or are you just storing it up? Like use it for something. Like we have all this stuff. It's the creativity of what we got. Like there's nothing the matter with having a gaming channel that you ain't cussing. You ain't doing all this other crazy stuff. You can have a sit down like that. One of the other shows that I've wanted to do was just called One Question. And it was like, it starts with a black screen. I'm giving y'all my whole script so y'all can steal the ideas. Doesn't really matter. It would start with a black screen and it just has one question. That's all it does. And I'm tagging off of Pastor Jay Kyle. He has a book called Intergenerational Synergy. It would come up with a question. And after that question, you would go through all 7, or is it 8 generations, if they're still alive, and you would just let them answer it candidly by themselves. And that's it. So for an idea, one question would be, why are young adults not coming to church anymore? And then you start with the first generation, the kids who can talk. Let them ask it. And you go through every single generation, and it's not hearsay of what you think. You actually get a chance to hear the generation. Like you might have the older folks like, oh, they're slaying away from God. They don't do this. But then you get to my generation. Why are you not coming to church? No, I am coming to church. I'm just not coming to this church because it's not relevant in what I need to hear. I don't need to hear about getting fire insurance and get my soul right so I don't bust hell wide open. How do I live this life? How do I make this walk? Oh, you got a tithe. Hey, it's hard for me to pay my power bill. How can I do that? You say have faith. How do we do that? You're giving a platform for people to talk and ask the question. Because again, we don't need more sermons. We need more people living a sermon. So you give people an example, and that's a platform. That's why people watch Dr. Phil and Oprah and all this other stuff. Why can't the church with a Christian basis have that type of thing? We can.
Man,
just nobody has ever tried to do it.
You got it. I think we need it. Book number 3.
Well, I need to finish book number 2. But well, I appreciate it. Just hit me up and we can see what we can do. Because like I said, I'm going to put this up just as a vision casting whenever I do it, just to give some people an idea. I talk through it, but I want to actually, just like with the AI announcements, want to give an example to give people an idea of how that can work. But again, I appreciate it. Sir, I'll be popping in when I can, and thanks for calling in.
Cool, man. Hey, next time do this with video so people can see who you're talking to.
Yeah, I'm working on. I can do that through vMix, so I'm gonna try and mix those up as well too. All right, man.
Cool, man.
All right,
I'm back to watching.
Later. All righty. G Valentino wants to know, what are the requirements for the giveaway to enter it? That's it. As long as the country supports me shipping this stuff, I will ship it wherever. All right. Richard. Hey, AJ, thank you for all you do for us that are less technically inclined. Hey, you are welcome. Philip Paul, do you use UPS for your setup? If so, what devices do you have connected? Yes, I have 2 UPSs. I have one right under the desk right here. It is a APC that's plugged in, and I also have another one for my network rack that has everything plugged in. So if the internet goes down, I still have another 8 hours. Ultimately, what I want to really do is when I get my house, we're going to have solar powered and I'm going to have a battery backup. So that if anything goes down, we'll still be powered the entire time. But that's what the plan is. Live streaming bundle, pretty much like how you have. Okay. I had to circle back on that because I honestly forgot what your question was. Let me search for you here. Okay, so you said the best question for using the live streaming bundle. Again, I would look at any of the live streaming systems that I've built, and typically what my live streaming bundle is right now. And yes, shameless promotion, but hey, I do it to show you what I actually do. Let me go on here real quick. And so if I go here to a streaming PC, what I typically do right now, I have bumped it up a little bit. I use a Ryzen 7 5700G, 16 gigs of memory, a full ATX B550 motherboard, 1 terabyte NVMe SSD, and a 600 watt power supply. That will handle pretty much anything. This is the same specs what I do to live stream at 4K. CPU, computational wise, it can handle that. You still need to make sure your upload can support that. I have FiOS, so I have 1,000 up and 1,000 down, so I can handle that. If you want to have capture cards, that's where we can add a DeckLink 4K, DeckLink Duo. That's this, and the quad HDMI. That's what I would use, and this would be more than enough to run vMix, OBS, like that. And most of the time, the specs on this are the same thing with your presentation. So even though I don't do it, you could do both on the system. I don't do that. David, can you recommend a Rodecaster 2 cover? Yeah, I have the one that's from Rode. That's what I use for mine, Rodecaster 2. That's what covers mine up, and that's directly through them. If you have something else, I am not sure, but I got mine directly from them when I did it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, that's what I hope this is for. It's not just about like, ooh, let's put some money in AJ's pocket. So no. The whole thing is, let me get back on my soapbox again. And I've been meaning to do a video about this. I've talked about it. And I ain't trying to be morbid or nothing like that. But like a friend that I knew, somebody who used to go to a church I went to, he was a bodybuilder. He was an assistant pastor. 2 weeks ago, they found him at his office, unresponsive. Passed away. His funeral is tomorrow. And it just makes me sit back and think. That's why I always say at the end of this, you are important. If you weren't here, we'd be missing something. There's something, as long as you're still doing that, there's something else for you to do here. There's something only you can do. And the idea is those visions, the imaginations, the dreams that you have, they weren't just given to you just to tease you. And again, for me, I want it to be at the end of my life. I'll tell y'all this. When my dad passed, he passed in my arms in 2003. My dad did a lot of stuff. He was a physics teacher, a chemistry teacher, started his own seminary. He had like a double doctorate. I think it might have been a triple doctorate, physics, chemistry, and theology. He was a pastor for over 36 years. He taught and trained over 500 plus ministers, did a whole bunch of stuff. But at the end of his life, all he talked about were the things he regretted he did not do. That made me realize that I want to do as much as I possibly can with the time that I have left. And yeah, I could sit here and travel and do this and do all this crazy stuff to try and get influence and buy all this other stuff and flaunt and flex and all this other stuff. But yeah, I do like that stuff, but that's not my thing. I enjoy doing this because it helps me. What was given to me, I can hand that off and teach to somebody else. I like doing music, but I like being able to inspire and teach somebody else to show the potential of what they have in them that maybe somebody else didn't know. What I like to say is for all of y'all, wherever you are in your media ministry, and this is how my channel started. I chose my channel was catered to being what I could not find. When I was trying to find all this other stuff and there was no help, I made a channel that if I was looking for this, I was be able to answer my questions instead of me have to hunt it. That's why I want to make this easier. That's one thing I want to do. I want to be actually an instrument of change, not always just talking about stuff, being able to contribute. Yeah, I don't have, we don't break over $1,000 a month doing YouTube. I'm just being honest with you. We don't. But God has blessed me with what I can, and as best as I can, I want to give as much as I can. Yeah, it hits the pockets when I do these giveaways. But I'm not doing it to get attention. I'm doing it because, like, hey, I'm in a better position. What can I do to help? I'm trying to tell everybody what they can do with media ministry, but then there's some ministries that they don't have it. And I pray to God to be like, hey, I'll be faithful. You told me to do this. I'm doing it, God. I want to do this. You gave me the desire to do that, so you gave me the provision to do it. And he has. So that's the reason I want to do what I do. Me sitting down and just playing a piano until I'm 80 and 90, yeah, I could do that. Sit behind a computer and just do this stuff. Yeah, I could. That's not me. I want to do more than that. I want to have a legacy that left behind that wherever I was, I made it better than where I was. Hopefully that does here in YouTube. Yeah, we ain't at 100,000 and millions of subscribers yet, but I hope we've reached and impacted and helped make something better when y'all came here. That's the whole thing. So I'm off my soapbox. David, I appreciate that as well. It seems like, again, like minds, we got a lot of people doing the same thing. So awesome, awesome. Oh, yeah, and Spotlight Deliverance, yes, a cooking show as well, too. Yes. Is it not a rant, but I'll take it. Mom's video. That was also a stalling, so I can get some more people to ask some questions as well, too. Good morning. Number one, recently run an XLR out of the X32 bus channel to a Canon XA11 that has the XA11 has XLR inputs on the camera. And then from the camera HDMI into the ATEM, so the sound and video is sent at the same time. Okay. What is the advantage of sending audio to a computer using Pro Tools, Ableton, Logic, etc.? All I see is extra money. I guess it's for people to add some more compression and all this other stuff. That's the advantage. In your setup, if you're going to the ATEM, my question to you is, why not just send the audio directly to the ATEM and let the ATEM handle that? I mean, either one will work. The ATEM will at least give you a little bit more control over the audio. It'll give you your own little type of mixer to adjust and do some type of settings. Like, for example, my audio that's coming in right now, right here, I can mess with this a little bit. Now, y'all aren't hearing from the ATEM. Y'all are hearing from my Rodecaster, even though the Rodecaster is going out. Y'all are not hearing the audio coming from the ATEM. You're hearing it coming from there. But anyway, I could come in here and make some adjustments in here if I wanted to. That at least gives you some more control if you were coming into the ATEM. But that's why I'm just wondering. There's always a reason why you do it. So I just wanted to know. Have I ever used Ecamm Live? Yes, I bought it. Well, it went to a monthly subscription. I paid it for 3 months with the intention of making a video, but I never got a chance to get back to it. But I do intend to do that. Thankfully, we've been blessed with so many projects that I have not been able to do the standalone videos. So the other time me taking off, this is the time for me to work on stuff like that as well, too. G. Albert. Have AJ at church, the folks that originally installed the ATEM, I see the OBS is installed, but nothing was set up in the RTMP settings. Okay. I know it's another part of that question, but let's see. Philip Paul, what are your suggestions for a multi-camera setup? DSLR, man, look, I was getting ready to rant for a second. Y'all should know me well enough that I will never, ever recommend a DSLR. I just wouldn't, just because of the battery and overheating. But what are your suggestions for a multi-camera setup? Camcorder or PTZ? I would go with either one of those. I would not use a DSLR at all. That's just me. Other people are doing it. I would not. DAW's recording service. All right, so y'all are helping each other. That's awesome. And this is the second part of G. Albert. And if the ATEM controller is using OBS, basically, where can I go to find the real configuration and relationship as we grow and transition to here? For the ATEM controller, I'm not sure I understand there, sir. Because if they set up the ATEM, that's just for bringing in anything. And depending on your ATEM, that would have video out, either USB or it would have to go a SDI or HDMI out that's going to a computer if you're using OBS. So it's not like they would directly be controlling each other like that. I would kind of need to see the whole setup for that specifically. All right, I think we're caught up to our page here. Man, it seemed like more time went by. It's not even noon, but let me take a break here. Let's go ahead and give a shout out to our Patreon supporters. We got some new Patreon supporters and we got some new YouTube members. And if you like what we do, folks, I don't take paid promotions. I wish people paid me to do stuff like this for products. Most of the time they give me products for free and I give that stuff away. But we don't do paid products. I only use products and recommend stuff that I stand by. That's why there are certain products you haven't seen because I don't stand by them. But these folks are the ones that help make stuff like this possible. And if you like what we do here, folks, you can become a Patreon supporter by going to patreon.com/AJaytheCEO, or you can click the join button down below to become a YouTube member. We have different tiers and all this other good stuff. Actually, I have people who are in the top tier of Patreon. I give a free monthly consultation. And not that many people have been using that. I do have one that's tomorrow. So excited about that. But hey, this is what I do to try and help out. And I haven't been uploading as much. I intend to upload every video that I do without ads to the Patreon supporters as another way of saying thank you, and YouTube members. That's what we're doing. But we do other things. If you're in our giveaways, anybody who is a YouTube member or Patreon supporter, I enter your name twice, so you have twice as many chances to win any giveaways, do discounts, all the other good stuff to try and help out as best as possible. So I think that's about it. We're going to go ahead and shut it down because I got a couple of support calls I got to get to. And that's about it. But folks, if no one's ever told you, thank you for everything that you are doing at your local ministry. I'm not a part of your ministry, but guess what? We're all a part of the same team. We're all a part of the body of Christ, whether you're Baptist, Methodist, Episcopalian, Lutheran, Catholic, whatever. Look, the biggest trick we've ever been tricked is to fight against ourselves instead of us joining forces and fighting against our common enemy. That's what the whole thing is. I don't care if I'm not a part of your ministry. I will help you as best as I possibly can, and that's what it is. And I highly encourage you, if you got other ministries in your local area, help them so that we can all win together. I hope what I do here helps make your journey a little bit easier. I can help you the best way I possibly can, answer a little bit. I don't know everything, but hopefully I got you, inspired you, helped you, answered your question and stuff like that. Because if you weren't there, something would be missing. You are unique and you have certain talents and abilities and visions that only you can accomplish. And we need it. We need you. So hopefully I've helped out. I hope y'all all have a great day, evening, afternoon, wherever you is. And we'll be catching y'all on the next video. Oh, actually, let me take that back. Before I end this, next week, because those who celebrate Thanksgiving and stuff like that, I may not do a Q&A on Friday. The following week, the first Friday of December, I'm still going to be coming back from vacation. So let me actually look at the day. I'm going to put a post about this. So December 1st, there will be no Q&A. On the 26th of November, there is no roundtable because I'll be out of town. Vacation starts on the 26th. I'll be gone from the 26th until the 3rd. So the 26th and the 3rd, no roundtable. Our next roundtable is not going to be until December 10th. All righty. Excuse me. And I think I'll do a Q&A on the 24th. Hopefully, if I'm back, we'll do one on the 24th. If you don't see one, that's the reason why. But December 1st, we will not have a Q&A. So if I don't get a chance, Hope y'all have a good Thanksgiving if you celebrate that and all the other good stuff. So y'all have a great day, evening, afternoon, wherever you is. We catching y'all on the next video, folks. Later.